Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Adam Rateliff with Adam So Fun, and today we are working on the Kona Cotton block of the month, the Kona Solids block of the month. I'm doing this with Quilting Mayhem. So this is month 4. Yes, I know, I'm late. What else is new? I didn't have the fabric, now I have it, so let's get it done. This is a free block of the month from Kona. You can go to their website, robertkaufman.com, and download all of these. I promise they're there, so don't tell me that you have to pay for them because I just downloaded it. So this is month 4. If you go, download them all. If you search, I think I just searched block of the month or whatever, you'll find them. There should be 12, maybe 13 downloads because there's one for each month. They feature all of the Kona solids. So this month is blue. And this is month 4, so it would have been January, February. We started this in December, January, February, March. This is March's. So this would have been March's month. Yes, I know, we're at the end of April. Whatever, we're gonna deal with it. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm converting this. I'm cutting the whole thing with my Accuquilt. This is the Go Qube Mix and Match 8-inch block. So far, I've gotten every piece cut for month 1, 2, 3, and 4 will also, 4 and 5 will also be done. Everything's going to be able to be cut with my Accuquilt. So I'm changing the directions a little bit. If you go to Quilting Mayhem, Mindy, I believe, is also doing videos the way that the pattern is written. But who wants to do that when you can do quick, precise cuts and everything lines up? So this month, let's show us our fabrics. We always have our white because that's going to be our background. I've already cut my pieces out, so you'll see pieces that are smaller. This is hyacinth. This is the main color in this block. This is all I had left. So pay attention to what you're doing and how you're cutting. We need a little extra fabric for how we're gonna cut to get those precise cuts with our die cut. So just be aware of that. Sometimes we need extra and sometimes we don't need as much. So some of these we're actually gonna use just a tiny piece compared to what the directions said. So we have hyacinth, we have blueprint, we have deep blue. There's a theme here. Bright periwinkle. There we are. What's this one? Tulip, although I don't think of tulip like a purple, whatever. Astral. Lapis. Lots of colors this month. I love it. Crocus. And tried and true purple. So those are going to be our colors. That's what we're going to be doing. I really like this block. I think it's super colorful. I love the color change through the half square triangles, or what looks like half square triangles, but they're made a little bit different. So those are going to be your colors. One of the things I always do is I go to my fabric cutting page and I pull off my color page, which is usually in the back, and I come in and I write for fabric A, it's hyacinth. For fabric B, purple. And I write the colors here. So when I reference those, and I'm talking about the cutting instructions in a minute, I want you to do the same thing so you know that you're cutting the correct fabric. Because there's a lot of different pieces. There's a lot of fabrics this month. How many are there total? Let's see, 3, 6, 9. There's 10 fabrics this month. So there's a lot compared to like one of the month had 5. So just be aware of what you're doing. First one is fabric A. This is our hyacinth. And we're going to change the cutting instructions to cut with our die cut. So I usually give myself a 1/4 inch around my dies. So this die 1 is gonna, dies we're gonna use from our cube. You get 8 dies with these cubes. We're using 6 of them, so they're well utilized. So we're gonna use die 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. So we're missing 6 and we're missing 7. Is that right? Yeah. We're not doing the square on point, and we're not doing the parallelogram. So, so for this die 1, I need a 4.5 inch. It's going to cut me a 4.5 inch square. I'm usually going to do that cut a 5 inch square, or 5 1/4. Why did I do 5 1/4? Oh, that's not the right one. No. Oh, I did this a little smaller. I actually cut a 4 3/4 inch instead of a 5. Usually I would however my die is laid out, I like to stick a ruler on top and I do a 1/4 inch all the way around just so I know I have it. But whatever, we're gonna do 4 1/4. We'll talk about that one in a minute. Oh my gosh, I just got all confused. Okay, so our first cut, we need 2 5 1/4 inch squares. And that is gonna be cut with die 3. And die 3 is our half square triangles. We'll come back and talk about this, but this is our die 3 half square triangles. So we have 4 half square triangles in this. Those 2 squares are gonna give us all 4, because we're gonna be able to get 2 cuts at the same time. So the first thing we're gonna do is 2 5 1/4 inch squares cut with die 3. The next thing we're gonna do is I did a 4 3/4 inch square. You can do a 5 inch if you want, but this is to be cut with die 1. That's gonna get us a 4 1/2 inch square, okay? All of these instructions will be down in the description below, so you can also see them there. And then the last thing is we need 4 3 by 3 3/4 inch rectangles. Now this is gonna do our small, yeah, that's it. These are gonna be our triangles for our flying geese. So so basically we're cutting the square, we're cutting the air of the geese, and we're cutting our half square triangles on the outside. So it's a 2 5 1/4 inch squares, 1 4 3/4 inch square, and then 4 3 by 3 3/4 inch rectangles. So those are hyacinth, that's our hyacinth colors. So now we need to cut for fabrics B, D, G, and I. These are gonna be our fabric colors: purple, crocus, lapis, and astral. We need 1 5 3/4 inch square from each of those. We are going, and that's gonna be our quarter square triangles. So we're gonna use our die number, I think it's number 4, to cut those quarter square triangles. So those 4 are gonna be 1 5 3/4 inch square a piece. So you're gonna end up having 4 of those 5 3/4 inch squares. The next cut is gonna be fabrics C, E, F, and H. And these are tulip, bright periwinkle, deep blue, and blueprint. And these are gonna be what look like small half square triangles, although they're not. But they look like small half square triangles. We're gonna cut those with our die number 5. So those are gonna be 1 3 by 3 3/4 inch rectangle. So this is one of those spots. It's gonna tell you it wants 2 2 1/2 inch squares. We don't have to do that. We get 1 3 by 3 3/4 inch rectangle. It's gonna give us all our pieces, and they're gonna be perfect. So that's that one. And then the next is J. That is our white. So there's a lot of white background here. So we're gonna talk about some different cuts. So for our white background, we are going to do 3 5 3/4 inch squares. These are going to be our outside half square triangles. And no, that's die 4. Just kidding. They are going to be our quarter square triangles and the geese of our flying geese that we're creating in the center. So that is 3 5 3/4 inch squares to be cut with die 4. We need 2 5 1/4 inch squares to be cut with die 3. Die 3 is our half square triangles. Boom, 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 and boom. So those are all going to be done fast. We'll need 1 5 1/2 inch square. That is going to be cut with die 2, and that's going to give us our 4 2 1/2 inch squares here. And then the last is we need 4. I only cut 2. 1, 2. Oh, I need to cut some more white. We need 4 5 by 5 1/2 inch square or rectangles. So 4 rectangles that are 5 inches by 5 1/2 inches. These are being cut with die 8. These are going to give us our 2 1/2 by 4 1/2 inch strips. So again, all of those directions are below, written out, so you can see what I'm actually saying. And I'll say what die you cut with it, with everything. So a few things when you're cutting these, and I want to show you how you're going to piece one of them, because you're going to have a rectangle and a triangle. It's going to look weird, feel weird, but we're going to do it. When you're cutting your half square triangles with die 3, you're going to have hyacinth, you're going to have white. What do we always do when we make half square triangles? We are going to take our 1 hyacinth or 1 white and layer it 1 hyacinth, and then 1 white and 1 hyacinth. We're going to layer them as we're going to cut them. So when I put this on and I take it to the cutter and I cut it, They are already paired. I just take a pair, sew it on my machine. Take a pair, sew it on my machine. So everything is nice and already done here. The other thing for the colors B, D, G, and I, where you're gonna cut with die 4, and then you also have the white with die 4, how I did this one, and this is gonna be die 4, these are your quarter square triangles. I did a color, and then a white, and then a color, and then a white, and then a color, and then a white, and then a color. So I'm gonna have 4 colors, 3 whites, because we're not gonna use all of the colored triangles. We're only gonna use 2 from each of them. So we're gonna have 2, 4, we're gonna have 6 extra, 8 extra, 2, 4, 6, 8. We're gonna have 8 extra triangles, 2 from each color, and we have 4 colors. And then all of the whites will be utilized. But this will put your half square triangles together. Each one will have a white matched with it. So this should, again, you'll be able to pull them and take them over to the machine. Just remember that you're not using all of the colors. So that's that. I'm gonna get to cutting. We're gonna take care of this. I wanna go over to the machine and I wanna show you how to piece when you have a rectangle with a triangle, because you're not lining up the corners, you're actually lining up the opposite edge. So I wanna show you that because it's a little weird, especially if you haven't done it, but everything's gonna be perfect and I'm so excited. I love using my Accuquilt for this because my blocks turn out so great. So I'm gonna take you over to the machine. We'll see you right back here in a second. All right, I'm at my machine. I have my 2.5 inch, 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles, white on white, great, easy for you to see. And I have the half square triangles that I cut. These are from the 3 by 3 3/4. I like when it cuts these because it does it rectangle style. So these are right here, and you get both of those half square triangles cut. So everything's perfect. So I'm gonna break them, I'm gonna put them like this because I am somebody who likes to grab my piece, flip it over how I need to fold it, and or how I need to stitch it, or bring it down how I need to stitch it, depending. These are what we'll bring down. But we have to have 2 different angles. We wanna have a right and a left. So I'm gonna lay these out like so. When you do these, I'm gonna take this rectangle. I'm working around the camera, and this isn't always easy. So here's my rectangle. We're not gonna sew it like this. We're not lining it up like this, because if we line it up like that and sew it, it's gonna fold back down the wrong way. We need it to fold up and take up that corner. So that's why I've laid them down like this. I can pull this, and how we're gonna line it up is like this. So I am gonna have to trim this side off. If I didn't need a rectangle on this side, I could have used the parallelogram, but this is gonna be the back side and this is the front. So I'm gonna line up that corner here, and I'm gonna line up that top edge. So I'm lined up like so. This side should line up as well. Maneuver it around. So now that I have mine lined up, I'm gonna flip around, and basically I'm sewing corner to corner, but I have my edge here that I can use as my guideline. I am not good at just stitching corner to corner. I'm good with following my foot. So I'm gonna follow that foot. I love my Janome M8. I love this AccuFeed foot. You'll see that I let go of it. It continued to go straight because of the AccuFeed system. So now I'm going to grab my other side. I'm doing the same thing, but remember, we need these going in opposite directions. So this is going to be the other direction. So I'm pulling straight down from my stack onto my piece. And now I can sew this one, doing the same thing. These are bias edges, so be careful. Gosh, I love that I can take my hand off and it sews it perfect. These are bias edges, so be careful. You don't want to hold them and stretch them. I'm going to cut these really quick. And so now I would take this over to my machine, or to my cutting table. I'm going to trim off that edge, press this, and you're going to have that perfect rectangle block. every time because that Accuquilt's giving you perfect cuts. So this is a little bit weird because we're not lining it up on the corner and we have to trim this off, and that's why I wanted to show you. Everything else is normal. Half square triangles are normal. Flying geese are normal. This is the only one that's a little bit weird. So happy stitching. I'm going to finish this and we'll see you back over when the block is done. Alright everyone, so this is month 4. Here's the finished block. Oh my gosh. I was using my Laura Star to press it. It's just so crisp and flat. I love that thing. So yeah, month 4 block. I love this one. Like I said, I love how the colors go around. In case you haven't done it yet and you might be behind, here's month 5. And remember, I'm cutting every piece for all of these blocks with that Accuquilt mix and match 8-inch cube. So you can see there are some similar pieces, but there's also some pieces that aren't. It is just, they're going swimmingly. I love the colors in this. This is right up my alley. So that's month 4. We will see you next month for month 6, because month 4 was back and there's month 5. We'll see you next month for month 6. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you're notified when new videos drop. And give me a thumbs up down there because I would love it. I love you guys. If you're interested in this, you can go to what is the website? It is, yeah, robertkaufman.com. You can get these free downloads. Feel free to make it with any fabrics. Again, I'm doing this with Quilting Mayhem up in Shenandoah, Washington. They are one of my favorite shops. I love working with them, and I can't wait to get back up there. So go look at all the blocks. Oh, they're just so good. They're nice big ones, too. You don't need that many to get your quilt done. So we will see you in the next one, everybody. Happy quilting, and at the end of the day, it's just quilting. We want to have some fun, so get out there and have some fun.